You have submitted your dossier and requested to be promoted to the rank of associate professor. You may be wondering how your department and college will assess your readiness for promotion. To guide your department consulting group and the Collegiate Promotions Committee, two primary questions will be asked. Have you met the expectations for promotion to associate professor, and what is your upward trajectory, your promise for continued success? The first question, have you met the expectations for promotion to associate professor, assesses your teaching, scholarship, and service. In teaching, what is examined? Your knowledge of the subject matter, your ability to teach and connect to your students, your teaching methods, tools, and results, the variety of students you teach, the venues you teach in, and the size of your student groups, your success as a mentor and advisor, the successes your students have attained, and your commitment to ongoing skill development. To assess your teaching ability, learner evaluations, reviews by your colleagues, and examples of your teaching materials will be examined. Overall, learner ratings between 4 and 5 are expected. With your scholarship, reviewers will ask, is your scholarship innovative and creative? Does it build upon the work of others, adding knowledge to the field? Reviewers will assess the quality and quantity of your scholarly work. Under most circumstances, only scholarship occurring since your appointment will be considered. These same two questions will be asked whether your scholarship is at the bench, the bedside, in a clinic, or in the community, and whether your contribution is as the primary investigator or as a contributor. If you are a junior faculty member on the tenure track, promotion committee members will want to see a body of work that is cohesive with continued momentum, that you are transitioning from first author to senior author, that you have 6 to 8 primary author papers in appropriate journals relative to your field, and that you are building a national presence. Relative to grant funding, it is important that junior faculty on the tenure track have an R01 or a comparable award such as a VA Merit, NSF, or competitive foundation funding. If there is no current funding, there needs to be evidence that funding can be achieved. If you are junior faculty on the clinical track, there is an expectation for involvement in peer-reviewed scholarship. Some examples include book chapters, case reports, or high-quality reviews. Others may stem from activities such as development and evaluation of new and innovative forms of treatment, surgical procedures or diagnostic techniques, organization of a new clinical service, or improvement of an existing clinical service with evidence of impact, educational leadership in the medical student, resident, or fellow curriculum, enhancements of teaching practices or the design of a new curriculum with outcomes, and presentations at professional meetings related to any aspect of the faculty member's scholarship. Service is the third area assessed for readiness for promotion. Those reviewing your dossier will be looking for evidence of contributions to the organization with increasing roles of responsibility. Examples of service include committee work, community service, editorial work, grant review panels, service to or leadership in your professional organizations. Service can be to the department, college, institution, state, or professional society. The second question that assesses your readiness for promotion addresses your upward trajectory or your promise for future success. Reviewers will want evidence of developing independent problem-solving, decision-making, and action, progressively increasing scholarship, growing area of expertise, building relationships, networks, and partnerships, demonstrating a growing external presence, teaching excellence as demonstrated by your educational materials and the success of your students, and increasing areas of responsibility relative to service and citizenship. When assessing your promise for future success, your dossier must demonstrate that you have the ability to build on the success you have had thus far, and that you have the momentum that will carry you to a position as full professor. To reiterate, your successful bid for promotion will be evaluated based on your demonstrated ability to meet the expectations for promotion as outlined, and on your trajectory to make it to the next level. One important piece of advice: after you have objectively evaluated your work, complement your objective assessment by seeking the input of others who are in a position to say if you meet the bar, such as your chair, trusted colleagues, or members of your department consulting group. Then it is your job to put together the best dossier that addresses the areas being considered. Resources are available to help with that. Good luck!